Okay, so these are the solution to the MCQs that was given. So the first answer, the decimal expansion of the number 33 by 2 raised to 2 into 5 will terminate after how many decimals? 2 decimals. And how did we get into this? Very simple. What should I multiply the denominator with? That's all you have to think here, right? We have 33 here, correct? And we have 2 raised to 2 into 5. So if I have 2 raised to 2 into 5, what would happen? Very simple. It will become 2 raised to 1, right? If I multiply with 5 raised to 1 on both, it will become what? 33 into 5, right? By 2 raised to 2 into 5 raised to 2, correct? So what is the denominator? Denominator is 100. So 33 into 5 is how much? 5 3s are 15. 5 3s are 15 plus 1, 165. So how many decimal places are there? There is 2 decimal places. Just look for the number of zeros and make sure the numerator does not have 0 also, okay? So if the numerator has 0, one decimal will go, right? That logic should be there in your mind. For example, what I'm trying to say is, if we have you got 160 by 100, okay, how many decimal places is there? There is only 1 decimal places because it is 1.6. This is what I'm trying to say, okay? So please be careful, check whether the numerator has 0 also, okay? Then we have, for some integer m, every even integer is what? Suppose we have an integer m, right? Let's say 1, 2, 3, any integer, okay? Any integer m, what will be the even form? 2 times of that. 2m is even, right? Any number, let's say 2 into 3, how much is it? 6, even number. M is 3. M is 4, what happens? It will become 2 into 4, how much will become? 8. So to get even numbers, it will be 2m. Same way, to get odd numbers, next question will become even number plus 1. So 2 cube plus 1, that is odd numbers, okay? N square minus 1 is divisible by 8 if n is what? Very simple question. You can try with different question. 1 square minus 1 will become 0. 2 square minus 1, what is your answer? It will become 4 minus 1, 3, right? 3 square minus 1, it will become 8. So here it is divisible by 8, right? Is divisible by 8, right? Now we try with 4. 4 square minus 1, how much is the answer? 16 minus 1, 15, right? Not divisible by 8. Then we try with 5 square minus 1. What is 5 square? 25. 25 minus 1, 24. This is divisible by 8. Yes. You can try with the next number. 6 square minus 1. What will happen? It will become 36 minus 1, 35. Not divisible by 8. Then we have 7 square minus 1. That will become 49 minus 1, which is 48. That is divisible by 8. So if we look into the pattern is clearly visible. The n should be what? N should be an odd integer. That's all. Okay. N should be an odd integer. Because why integer? Why not a natural number? Very simple, because it is getting squared. Even if it is minus 3, even if it is minus 5, it will get squared and the negative sign will go, right? So it should be an odd integer. If the HCF of 65 and 117 is expressed in the form 65m minus 117. So what is the HCF of 65 and 117? Let's look into it. So 65 can be written as 5 into 13, right? So 5 and 13 is the prime factors of 65, right? So I can write 5 into 13. What about 117? Let's try it with 13. 9 into 13 will become 117. So your answer will become 117 is what? It will become 3 into 13. Correct? So 3 is what? Or what is common here? Very simple. What is common? We have the HCF, which is common. That is 13. The common factor here will be the HCF. So HCF is what? 13. Perfect. So your answer is 13, right? So now what happens? We need to equate it to 65m minus 117. So 13 is equal to 65m minus 117. So HCF is expressible in this form. So HCF is equal to this. So 65m is equal to what? It is equal to minus 117 goes to the other side, it will become plus. So it will become 100. 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 1. 130 will be the answer, right? So m is what? M is equal to 130 by 65. What is your answer? It will become 2. So your answer is 2. Okay. Next question. The largest number which divides 70 and 125. Let's say a number that is going to divide 70. Okay. Any number you're dividing and you have the remainder, how much? 5. Similarly, 125 you're dividing with that number and you're getting the remainder 8. Correct? So if I remove this 8, if I remove this 5, what would happen? If I remove these numbers, then what would happen? It will be completely divisible, right? it would be completely divisible. So let's try to understand that. What happens here if I'm removing that number? What will it be? 70 minus 5, 65. Sorry about that. Yeah, 70 minus 5 is what? 65, right? 65 is completely divisible by what? By that number. Now 125 minus 8, how much is that? 117, right? So it is completely divisible means what? That number, if I'm dividing with 65, my remainder will become what? 0, right? Similarly, that number I'm dividing with 117, my remainder will become 0. So they are factors, right? I can say they are factors. So what can we understand here? The logic is pretty much clear. I have to remove that number, right? Then find the HCF. Okay, so let's try to do that. So I'll remove that number. So I remove the number 70 minus 5, 65, 125 minus 8, 117, right? So we got these numbers. So now what? Now it's very easy. All you have to do is 65 is what? 65 is 5 into 13, right? And 117 is what? It'll become 3 into 3 into 13. So what is the HCF? The HCF is 13. Number is 13. Very simple. If two positive integers A and B, okay? Suppose let's say we have A and B, two positive integers, and we have B. So what is A? A is x into how many x's are there? 3 x's are there. How many y's are there? 2 y's are there. Perfect. What about B? B is x into y into y into y, right? Now what do we observe? What do we need to find? We have to find the HCF. So what is the highest common factor among them? X is common, right? 2 y's are common, right? So I can write x y square. So that will be our answer, x y square. What about the next question? P is what? P is equal to AB square, right? And we have Q is equal to A cube B. Now after writing this, I can write A into B, right? Then this is A into B, right? Now what is the LCM? Look for the maximum power of those prime numbers. A and B are prime. Maximum power of A is 3, right? There are 3 here. Maximum power of B is 2. So B raised to 2. So A cube B square will be the LCM. Very simple. Product of non-zero rational numbers. This is very simple. What you have to understand is, suppose we have a rational number, any rational number, you do any operation with an irrational number, you'll get an irrational number. What is the rule here? There is one rule, that it should be a non-zero rational number. That means the rational number should not be equal to 0. Okay. Other than that, for all the cases, this is true. Okay. We have learned this in 9th. This is actually a recollection question from 9th grade. Okay. Even in 9th grade, we have also learned one thing. What is it? Irrational number, you do any operation with an irrational number. What do we get? We get a rational or an irrational number. I'll give an example. Root 2 into root 2 is what? 2, which is a rational number, right? Root 2 into root 3 is what? It will become 6, root 6, which is irrational number. Okay, so remember this as well. Irrational with irrational, it can be rational or irrational. Rational with irrational, what happens? We have already learned that. We have been doing that as well. It will be a rational number. This is what you have to remember, these 3 rules. The main rule is rational with an irrational number will be an irrational number excluding 0. You have to exclude 0. Okay, now second and third, you already know, irrational with irrational can be rational or irrational. Rational with irrational will be a rational number. This is 9th grade topic. If you still have doubt in 9th grade topic, please visit the 9th grade topic along with this. Okay. Yes. The least number that is divisible by all the numbers from 1 to 10, both inclusive. So what happens? You just have to do the LCM of all these numbers, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Yes. So take these numbers. You just have to do the LCM of these numbers. Okay. You can do long method. But what I would suggest is try to understand from here itself, right? We just have to take the LCM, right? So let's try to take the LCM the other way. That will be much more easier for us. Okay. So what is the other way? Let's try to understand what is the other way. So here we go. 1 is as it is. 2 is as it is. Then we have 3, correct? 2 is as it is. 3 is there. 3 will become as it is. 4 is what? 2 into 2. Okay. And 5 is what? As it is. 6 will become 3 into 2. Okay. 7 will become 7 as it is. 8 will become 2 into 2 into 2. Okay. 9 will become 3 into 3. Okay, what is 10? 10 is 5 into 2. Okay. Now from this, what can be the LCM? Let's take the highest power of all of these. What is the highest power of 2? 2 raised to 3. Okay, that is here, right? Then what is the highest power of, let's say 3? It will become 3 raised to 2, correct? Yes. Then what is the highest power of, next what is the number? We have 5. Highest power of 5 is 5 itself, right? Highest power of 7 is 7 itself, correct? Highest power of any other number is there? That's it, right? So these are the numbers. So you multiply all of these together, you'll get the answer 2520. Simple, okay? That's how it is done. Now the last question, we have 14587 by what? By 1250, okay? If you look into the decimal, not decimal, the denominator, and we need to find the decimal, what do? We convert the denominator into product of 2's and 5's power, right? So if you do that, you'll get 2 raised to 1 into 5 raised to 4, right? That is 1250. Then you have 14587, okay? Now what do? We just multiply with what? We multiply with 2 raised to 3. So it becomes 2 raised to 4. That is our goal, right? So we need to get, we'll get 5 2's are 10, 10 raised to 4, correct? We'll get 10 raised to 4 here. 2 raised to 4 into 5 raised to 4, 10 raised to 4. And here in the numerator, we'll get 14587 into 2 raised to 3, which is 8, correct? Will the numerator's unit place become 0? No, because 8 into 7, 7 8's of 56, right? Like that, look for the unit place also, okay? What about the denominator? The denominator will become, how many zeros are there? 4 zeros. If the denominator has 4 zeros, your answer will also have, the point will come after 4 places, right? So it will have 4 decimal places. That's all, right? As simple as that. So you don't need to finally get the answer completely. From here itself, you can get the answer. So it'll be 4 decimal places. So that's it. If you have any doubts, please post it in the chat. That is in the comment section and the discussion forum, or you can contact the WhatsApp support team. And not just that, I would request everyone to start doing the previous questions which is given to you, as well as the important questions which is given to you. Okay, go for it, then do the practice sets. All right.